Number 1. Anxiety was built to save you. Picture this. You're alone in the woods. It's getting dark, and something's rustling behind a tree. Your heart races. Your breathing gets shallow. You become extremely aware of every twig snap and shadow. That, my friend, is anxiety doing exactly what it was designed to do. Anxiety is your body's ancient alarm system. It evolved to keep you alive in a world full of predators, falling rocks, venomous bugs, and other humans who maybe didn't love your existence. Your brain hears possible threat and basically yells everybody panic through your entire nervous system. Historically, this was helpful. If you paused to analyze the growl in the bushes, you'd become a snack with legs. But if you bolted instantly, congrats, you lived to panic another day. Fast forward a few thousand years. The bushes are gone. The tigers are mostly in zoos, and your biggest predator is probably an email marked urgent. But your brain, still operating like you're one wrong move away from being dinner. That's the twist. Anxiety isn't broken. It's just being used backward. It's trying to save you from stuff that can't actually kill you, like social rejection, or bad Wi-Fi, or forgetting someone's name mid-conversation and pretending you didn't hear them. So now, instead of helping you survive the wilderness, anxiety is helping you spiral at the grocery store because they rearranged the cereal aisle. Basically, your brain is running on caveman software in a world full of Bluetooth, and when that system overloads, your body reacts like it's under siege even if the threat is just an unread Slack message. Number 2. Procrastination was a survival strategy. Let's say you have a project due in 2 weeks. You know you should start. You've even made a to-do list with color-coded highlighters and motivational quotes. And yet, you find yourself cleaning the inside of your toaster or watching YouTube videos about how to be productive. Classic procrastination. But here's the thing, it's not because you're lazy. Nope. It's because your brain evolved to prioritize immediate survival over long-term planning. And unfortunately, a spreadsheet does not look like a saber-toothed tiger. Back in ancient times, the future was not a real place. Planning a month ahead, that was useless when your main goal was don't die by sunset. So your brain learned to focus on immediate threats and tangible actions like climb tree now or make fire or freeze. And when it comes to modern tasks that are abstract, distant, or emotionally uncomfortable, your ancient brain goes, nah, we'll do that later. Let's hunt dopamine instead. Scientists believe procrastination is tied to the limbic system, the same part of the brain that controls fear and pleasure. Basically, your brain would rather chase short-term comfort than risk pain, rejection, or effort. That's why folding laundry suddenly feels more urgent than filing your taxes. In extreme cases, procrastination can be self-destructive, but most of the time, it's your survival instinct running outdated software. Instead of avoid predator, it's avoid difficult email. And the delay feels good until the deadline is one breath away and your entire nervous system hits the panic button. So the next time you're procrastinating, just remember, your brain is trying to help you badly, like a dog trying to drive a car. It means well, it's just not qualified. Number 3. Groupthink was meant to keep you alive. Imagine you're in a cave with 19 other humans. One of them stands up and says, "We should run." Everyone runs. Do you stay behind and ask for a second opinion? No. You run. Because whatever made the group panic probably isn't stopping to fill out a survey. That instinct, that's groupthink, the psychological phenomenon where people conform to the majority opinion, even if it's wrong or dumb or clearly dangerous. And it's not a bug. It's a feature your brain evolved to keep you in the group. Because historically, being alone meant dying. Period. You needed the tribe to hunt, protect, reproduce, and yell at clouds together. So when the group agreed on something, even if it was, let's follow Dave into that clearly cursed cave, your brain went along with it to stay safe. Today, groupthink shows up in fun new places, office meetings, political mobs, internet comment sections, and every middle school lunch table ever. You know the answer is B, but everyone's confidently picking A. So you doubt yourself. Not because you're wrong, but because your survival brain whispers, don't be the weird one. Weird ones get exiled. Scientists believe this need for group cohesion overrides logic in the short term, especially under stress, which is why so many bad decisions are made in groups that are under pressure, sleep deprived, or surrounded by bagels and bad coffee. In other words, your brain would rather be wrong with everyone than right alone because evolution didn't optimize you to be a genius. It optimized you to be accepted. Number 4. Your memory wasn't built for accuracy. You know that crisp, vivid memory you have of something that happened 10 years ago. The one you've told in family gatherings so many times it practically has a soundtrack and camera angles. Yeah, about that. There's a solid chance it's mostly fiction. Because your memory isn't a video recorder. It's a rough sketch artist with a flair for drama. And that's not a flaw, it's by design. See? Early humans didn't need to perfectly remember what color berries they ate. They needed to remember which ones made Kevin hallucinate that a tree was judging him. Memory evolved to prioritize survival details, not facts. Scientists believe that the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, is great at stitching together meaningful fragments. It's not interested in exact truth. It wants patterns, feelings, and lessons. That's why emotional memories stick like duct tape and neutral ones fade like fog. In extreme cases, this turns into something called confabulation, where your brain fills in gaps with completely invented details and you believe them. Like remembering someone was at your birthday party when they definitely weren't, or being sure you locked the door. But nope, welcome. Burglars. And don't even get started on eyewitness testimony. Entire legal systems have been shaken because someone's brain confidently went, yeah, that guy did it, when actually, their memory was just remixing someone from their cousin's barbecue. So no, you're not losing your mind. Your memory is just doing what it's always done, editing reality to keep you alive. Liked, or slightly more interesting at parties. Basically, your brain is less of a historian and more of a fan fiction writer with a personal agenda. Number 5. Nightmares were a rehearsal. You're in bed, everything's quiet, and then bam, your brain drops you into a stress-drenched horror film starring your high school math teacher, a zombie snake, and your forgotten homework. Welcome to the magical world of nightmares, where your subconscious takes the wheel and crashes it into a haunted Walmart. But get this, nightmares weren't just a glitch. Scientists believe they evolved as a rehearsal for survival. The theory, by simulating worst-case scenarios while you sleep, your brain is running emergency drills for real life. Being chased, practicing escape, teeth falling out, checking for identity threats, showing up naked in public. Okay, maybe that one's about vulnerability, but you get the idea. These mental horror shows may seem random, but they often mirror social fears, physical threats, or emotional risk stuff that would have gotten you shunned or eaten a few thousand years ago. And by running through them while you're safe in bed, your brain gets to test responses without the actual danger. In extreme cases, people who've lived through trauma report recurring survival nightmares, their minds literally forcing them to keep practicing the threat response. It's exhausting, but also weirdly adaptive. So yeah, your nightmares aren't trying to ruin your night. They're just your ancient brain saying, let's run the apocalypse simulation again, just in case. Basically, your dream life is a full-time anxiety intern that never clocks out. Number 6, sweating from fear. Not heat. You're standing still. Nothing physically demanding is happening. And yet, your armpits have declared war. Your palms are slicker than a buttered eel. Why? Because someone asked you to say a few words at a meeting and your brain reacted like you were about to fight a bear with a spoon. Welcome to Fear Sweat, a delightful relic from your caveman upgrade package. See? Back in the days when public speaking meant negotiating with a rival tribe over not killing each other, fear was a very physical event. Your body needed to get slick, loose, and ready to either run, climb, or throw a rock at something hairy. Sweating wasn't just about cooling down, it was part of your get slippery, so nothing can grab you defense system. Yes, seriously. If your body was harder to grip, you had slightly better odds of escaping a predator or angry neighbor with a sharp stick. Fast forward to now. You're not being hunted. You're being asked about budget forecasts in front of 11 bored coworkers. But your brain still thinks you're on the edge of extinction. Scientists believe this type of sweat-apocrine sweat actually smells different from heat sweat. It carries more protein and fat, which bacteria love to snack on, creating that special kind of stress stink. That's why nervous sweat is somehow 300% more offensive than post-gym sweat. In extreme cases, people with hyperhidrosis, a condition where you sweat excessively, experience this fight or flight response constantly, as if their body's threat radar is stuck on max. So no, you're not weird for sweating through your shirt during a job interview. You're just biologically confused. Your nervous system thinks a wild animal is rating your PowerPoint. Number 7. Blushing is a social smoke alarm. You say the wrong name. You trip over your words. Someone compliments your outfit and your body immediately decides to turn into a tomato. Blushing, the awkward social reflex that makes you look guilty even when you're not. But guess what? Blushing actually had a purpose. It's a weirdly honest form of communication that your ancient self used to survive social exile, which, back in the day, was a slow-motion death sentence. If you messed up and the tribe stole food, acted shady, flirted with the wrong cave spouse the group needed to know, you felt shame. Blushing said, "Hey, I know I screwed up. Please don't push me into the wilderness with the wolves." Scientists believe blushing is unique to humans and tied to social awareness. It's an involuntary confession of vulnerability. Basically, your face is snitching on your emotions to save your social standing. It's also impossible to fake, so in weird evolutionary logic, that made it trustworthy. Oh, they're blushing. They feel bad. We'll let them stay by the fire. In modern times, though, it mostly shows up during work presentations, surprise compliments, or when someone catches you checking your teeth in your phone camera. In extreme cases, people with social anxiety can develop an intense fear of blushing itself called erythrophobia, which leads to more blushing, which fuels more panic. It's like a shame-powered feedback loop. So next time your cheeks light up like Rudolph's nose in an awkward situation, just remember, your ancestors were blushing too. Only their version ended with not being eaten. Number 8. Your startle reflex is not subtle. You're sitting peacefully, sipping your coffee, when suddenly a door slams and your entire body throws itself into DEFCON 1. Your arms flinch. Your heart karate kicks your chest. And for a split second, you're not a person anymore. You're just a startled meat puppet. That, my friend, is the startle reflex, an ancient survival mechanism that doesn't believe in subtlety. This reaction comes from your brainstem, one of the oldest and grumpiest parts of your brain. It bypasses all the reasonable logic parts and basically goes, loud sound, imminent death. Act now. It's incredibly fast, we're talking milliseconds. That's because your ancestors didn't have the luxury of pausing to assess whether a snapping twig was a deer or a prehistoric murder beast. They just jumped. And the ones who jumped lived. Scientists believe this reflex is tied to the reticulospinal tract, which controls motor responses like ducking, flinching, or, spilling your drink all over your pants in a cafe because someone sneezed too loudly. In extreme cases, the reflex can become overactive, especially in people with PTSD or heightened anxiety, turning everyday sounds into full-body alarms. Your brain gets stuck in threat detection mode and never quite resets. But even in normal situations, the startle reflex is a great reminder that your nervous system is still operating on jungle rules, despite the fact that you're currently panicking in an IKEA. So yes, it's embarrassing when you jump at the microwave beep like it just threw a punch at you. But biologically, that overreaction is your survival software flexing its old instincts. Basically, your body is just trying to save you from imaginary tigers hiding inside household appliances. Number 9. Yawning is group code. You're watching someone yawn, and suddenly you feel it too. You fight it. You clench your jaw. But it's too late. You're yawning now. You've joined the cult. So why is yawning contagious? Are we all just chronically tired? Yes, but also no. Yawning, scientists believe, evolved not just to regulate brain temperature, which is already weird enough, but as a social synchronizer. It was a way for early human groups to coordinate behavior. Think about it. A whole group yawning around the same time might mean, hey, we're all tired. Let's rest. Or, the hunt's over. Let's stop moving like caffeinated squirrels. In extreme cases, contagious yawning is reduced or absent in people with certain neurological conditions, like autism or schizophrenia, suggesting that yawning may actually be tied to empathy and social bonding. So when you mirror someone's yawn, your brain is doing a weird little trust exercise. It's saying, I see you. I feel you. I, too. I'm slightly bored and under-oxygenated, and it doesn't just happen in person. Even reading about yawning can trigger it. You're fighting it right now. Aren't you? Basically, yawning is like an emotional group text your brain sends without permission. It's awkward, pointless seeming, and deeply, weirdly ancient. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.